With all that you have read in the fight against COVID-19, one word has come to be the bulwark for the fight against coronavirus where any country is concerned. And that word is testing, testing and more testing. Why is testing so very important? If you've seen by empirical evidence, any country that has gone into the theatre of this pandemic, testing more seems to have an advantage over other countries. So how many tests are there? Let me take you through those. It is important that you understand that a lab test falls in two categories. Molecular test, which looks for evidence of active infections. This can detect as little as one virus particle in swabs taken from inside the mouth or nose. The second test is a serology test, which looks for the previous infection by detecting antibodies. Serology tests are for surveillance of investigational purposes and not for diagnostic purposes. So let's understand a little more about these tests. Now, the Indian Council of Medical Research, or the ICMR, has approved 3 kits for testing in India. 2 of them are acquired from abroad, which is foreign countries, and 1 of them is indigenous, home-made, right here in India. Now, what is a testing kit? It is roughly 1 foot by 10 inches box of full sealed vials with an instruction manual to test for swine flu, dengue, or in this case, COVID-19. A testing kit comprises 5 key components: probes, primers, master mix, calibrators, controls. Tests for the virus can only be conducted in specialized labs that are certified to do so. So let's take you through what all is tested. What kind of tests are there? Well, number 1 is a swab test, then a tracheal test, and sputum test, and a nasal aspirate test. Well, out of all of this, the most popular and the most reliable is a swab test, where a swab is taken from where your nasal trachea meets the trachea of your throat. Where they both meet, that is where the swab is taken from. Now, how much do these tests actually cost? Well, in India, if a private lab is approached for a test, and if you are getting your test conducted by a private lab, then the ICMR has capped it at 4,500. A private lab test in India cannot cross 4,500 rupees. But not anyone can get tested privately. What you need to be tested by a private lab is, number 1, a medical prescription by a doctor which says you need to be tested for COVID-19, along with which you will have to call the private lab. They will send a technician home who will come and take that sample and make you fill a form 44, which is basically a disclosure form whether you have traveled to another country or you've been in touch with somebody who has traveled to another country. Then only your test is taken. Also, this is not a confidential test, because if the test comes positive or even if it comes negative, the information will be directly reported to the ICMR or the Indian government.